Good evening, teachers. Welcome to this platform. As per your requirement and the topics which you have shared with me, this is the topic which I have chosen for you today to deliver something interesting for you here on this platform, that is Learning with Miss Aarti. So today we will talk about deviations in early years learning. Very good evening, teachers. How are you all? Welcome to this platform, Learning with Miss Aarti. Today's topic is deviations in early years learning. I have received queries from you regarding this topic, so that is why I've chosen this one. And let's see what is here for you today. I have tried my good one to share with you, and hopefully you will gain something good out of it. So here is deviations in early years learning. So this is actually referred to various differences or deviations from the typical or expected progression of learning and development in young children. We are the teachers who are dealing with young children, and we have to have a open window when we are teaching them or when we are helping them in learning. These variations can arise due to multitude of factors. So I believe that you all agree with this thing, that there are so many factors which are actually involved in it, including individual differences in children's ability. This is one of the most important one and the frequent one. Environmental influences. Naturally, when we are in the classroom, we face different influences and instructional approaches too. So as a teacher, if I feel that I am teaching in my classroom, the way I teach and the way my co-teacher teach is naturally different, though we have the same protocol. So that is what I'm putting light on today, that deviations in early years learning is very obvious. Here are few common types of deviations in early years learning. Let's see them. Developmental delays. Developmental delays. Some children may experience delay in reaching developmental milestones compared to their peer. Sometimes we have special children also in our classroom. And I believe in this thing that children are like five fingers. When we teach them, they understand the concept at their own temperament. These delays can occur in areas such as language, motor skills development, socio-emotional development, and cognitive abilities. So I hope you all agree with me that such delays will definitely lead to deviations in the class. Second is the learning disabilities. There are certain children may have specific learning disabilities that impact their ability to acquire and apply knowledge effectively. Common learning disabilities in early years include dyslexia, difficulty with reading, dyscalculia, difficulty with maths, ADHD, which is the most common one, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and much more. So learning disabilities are not actually in hand of a teacher. It is actually student centric. When teacher is teaching in the classroom, and when the early year teacher come to know about such learning disabilities of the children, or if the parent convey to the teacher, then in that case it will definitely lead to deviation. Behavioral changes. Some children may exhibit behavioral changes that interfere with their learning and social interaction. They have different kind of temperament. These challenges can include impulsivity, aggression, defiance, or difficulty regulating emotions. So these three things, they are most prominent, visible in early years, during foundation years, in the classroom. So when we teachers are helping our children to learn the new concepts, we should have a very open window of deviation. Though we are assigned with a set curriculum, still deviation will persist. Number 4 is cultural and socio-economic differences. Children are coming from diverse cultural and socio-economic backgrounds, may experience variations in their early learning experiences. Factors such as language barriers, access to resources, cultural norms can influence the way children learn and develop. Definitely. One of the example I want to tell you, when we have 5 children in the classroom and they are coming from different socio-economic and cultural backgrounds, you will definitely see the difference in doing coloring in the classroom, during sitting in the classroom, asking for very common needs. For example, going to washroom, going for hand wash, you will see such differences. So these are nothing but these are the factors: language barriers, access to resources, cultural norms, which influence the learning and development of the children. And definitely they are the part of deviation which we see in the classroom. Number 5th is inconsistent or inadequate support. In some cases, children may experience deviations in their learning due to inconsistent or inadequate support from caregivers, educators, or other significant adults in their lives. Lack of access to quality early years childhood education and support services can also contribute to deviations in learning outcomes. Teachers, I always support my educators and I feel that we give our good one in the classroom. We are giving shape to the soft clay in the classroom. So here we are actually doing collaboration with the parents in early years. So when we are going for any kind of a support, it is actually a partial support when we do not get the collaboration of the parent. So make sure that the learning during early years is actually not fulfilled by the mother teacher only. It is required that the collaboration of parent is equally important. Addressing deviations in early years learning often require a multifaceted approach that involve early years intervention, personalized instruction. Definitely, when we are in the classroom, we are giving personalized attention and instruction to the children, supportive environments, and collaboration among parents. This is again, I'm putting stress on that in early years, learning is not fulfilled until and unless if we do not have the collaboration of the parents, educators, and other professions. So we really need that. But still, deviations are visible during early years learning in the classroom. By identifying and addressing deviations early on, it is possible to provide children with the support. So we are actually supporting the children They need to reach their full potential and to nurture their inherent potential and thrive in their learning and development. So, dear teachers, it is important that we have to follow the assigned curriculum, but don't worry. It is for the coordinators to understand that yes, deviations in different classrooms will take place according to the children in that particular classroom, according to the needs of the children in that particular section. So when we are talking about different classes in kindergarten, if you see deviation coordinators, then obvious, it is something which is really obvious, and it is due to these different factors which I have discussed so far. Now we'll put some light on deviations in teaching in kindergarten. Very interesting. So now it is teacher centric. How teacher is doing deviation in the classroom in teaching basically can encompass various departures from the standard or expected method of instruction and classroom management. Here are some common examples. So let's put some light on these examples. The very first one is the pedagogical approach. When I'm talking about pedagogy, different kindergarten teachers, they learn from different platforms, they have their own mentors. So sometimes they have common mentors, sometimes they learn from different sources. So when we talk about the pedagogical approach, kindergarten classrooms may deviate from traditional teacher centric instructions toward more child centered or play based learning approaches. So, coordinators, now it is your call that you have to accept this deviation in teaching in kindergarten. This might involve allowing children to explore, discover, and construct knowledge through hands on experiences and guided play rather than through direct instruction. Direct instructional learning in early years actually is not fruitful. What we are telling children, they are just doing that, is not actually a learning which is required in early years. In early years, we are making the children free. Though we have assigned curriculum, but we design the activity in a manner that we need to reach the learning objective with differential learning. In differential learning, we are already welcoming deviations. So, deviation in teaching in kindergarten is a very obvious factor, and we, as a coordinator, as a principal, should understand this thing, that we should have an open window. We should not compare the learning in different sections of the school in kindergarten. Every teacher is having his or her own way of teaching. So you have to welcome that, and you need to understand the need of the children as well, because they are different in different classroom. There are few approaching ones, there are few meeting ones, rest are excelling ones. So every teacher is having different stuff. Then how we can accept, why we are not actually accepting it that the deviation will take place? So it is a very obvious thing we should understand. Second is differentiated instruction. I really like this, and we should motivate it. Teachers may deviate from one size fit all approach by implementing differentiated instruction to meet the diverse needs of their student. Doing the same activity, one single activity, in four different manners is actually differentiated instruction. Differential learning is the best learning example or approach which we can follow in early years. They learn one single learning objective by different four activities, though they have not done the rest three. because every child is in one single group only. But yes, when they see that visual learning also make them understand that yes, this is the way this activity can be done too. So this involves tailoring teaching methods, material, activities, I'm sorry, to accommodate various learning styles, ability, interest, and cultural backgrounds. So differentiated instruction should be given thumbs up in the classroom. It should be motivated. Next one is incorporating technology. Some kindergarten teachers may deviate from the conventional teaching methods by integrating technology into their lessons. What's harm in that? It's good. This include using educational apps, interactive whiteboards, or multimedia resources to enhance their learning experiences and engage young learners. So, actually, what we are demotivating here is distraction, and what we are motivating here is engagement. So, every teacher is having his or her own way of engaging the children. So incorporating the technology will definitely will be deviated one in each and every section. So I'm giving thumbs up to this. Number four is emphasis on socio-emotional learning. Deviations in teaching may involve placing greater emphasis on the social emotional learning, SEL. It is very prominent alongside academic instruction. So teachers may incorporate activities and strategies to help the children develop essential skills such as self-awareness, self-regulation, empathy, and interpersonal communication. So this is all we are doing in the class. And every child is from different background as we had discussed before. So they have different SEL. Next one is outdoor and nature-based learning. I really like this because, when we are doing the learning in that cube only, that is actually not learning. That is just, making the children sitting in a one same spectrum and that's just giving them direction whole day. It is a very, very traditional sort of learning. Give them nature based learning, give them outdoor learning. Every session should be designed at different place, then only the least distraction will be there. Some kindergarten programs deviate from traditional classroom settings by incorporating outdoor and nature based learning experiences. This should be done. It should be motivated. Teachers may take children on nature walks, engage in gardening activities, facilitate outdoor play to foster a deeper connection, with the nature, and promote physical activity. More and more GMS should be there. Gross motor skills should be enhanced, and you can do the blended learning also. You can merge your plans accordingly so that you can do your fine motor along with your gross motor. You can do your differential learning involving the gross motor. You can do your literacy involving your fine motor. So you have to do some blend so that least distraction should be there and more interaction should be there in your lesson plan. So every teacher is having a different temperament. It is not like that everyone is thinking in the same way. Everyone want to blend literacy with gross motor. Everyone want to blend numeracy with regio emilia. It is not necessary. So we coordinators, we principals, we need to understand that every teacher should be given this much of relaxation, though they have their set pattern, though they have their curriculum, but yes, they can do and they can show their own, way of teaching. They should be free to teach the children. They should be free to make the children learn accordingly. And we should welcome such things. There is no comparison between the instructors because instructors are the one who are tailored with the need of the time. So, and they are learning. You also actually doing learning only right now. So we all are learning, and we should be welcome when we are doing different kind of deviations, putting efforts. So yes, it is good to go. Culturally responsive teaching. Deviations in teaching may involve adopting, culturally responsive practices that honor and incorporate the diverse cultural backgrounds and experiences of students and families. Teachers may include culturally relevant literature, celebrate diverse holidays, which we all do, and traditions, and provide opportunities for the students to share their own cultural identity and perspectives. So give them that much space. For example, if we are doing, say, suppose Christmas festival in the classroom, if we have given just a worksheet to the children to do coloring in the Christmas, like say for example Santa Claus or any other attribute which is related to Christmas festival, or we make them to play a game, or we tell them a story, or we design one activity outside the classroom where you have to recite one rhyme related to Christmas festival. So this is something interesting, rather than just making them sit in a set pattern and doing only one kind of activity. So cultural responsible impactful learning teaching is also there that we can welcome as teachers. Next is a flexible sitting arrangement. I really want to give thumbs up to this. Instead of traditional desk and chair setups, some kindergarten classroom may deviate by implementing flexible sitting arrangements. They should choose by themselves that I want to sit with this peer. Let them get friends with the peer. Why we are so much strict and giving the flex? Why not giving flexible sitting arrangement? This could include options such as floor cushions, bean bags, standing desk, or alternative sitting plans, or sit on the mat and go for the storytelling when they're sitting on the Eva mat. So such flexible sitting arrangements will also give you, very good, I don't know, it will definitely reflect goodness in your learning objective. Next is the interdisciplinary and project-based learning. Project-based learning, CPP is already there on the channel, so you can check out that as well. Kindergarten teachers may deviate from subject-specific instruction by implementing interdisciplinary and project-based learning approaches. This involves integrating multiple subjects into the cohesive hands-on projects or units of study that allow children to explore topics in depth and make meaningful connections across disciplines. So, if we are motivating STEM in kindergarten, then it is a good to go thumbs up, because when we are doing projects, we are actually doing the kinesthetic learning. I always talk about the VAC model, visual, auditory, and kinesthetic learning. Kinesthetic learners are the best learners because they are actually exploring by project. So when we are giving something in the hands of children, then they feel them by their sensory organs, and then they implement accordingly, and then they learn better by doing. And then again, NCERT says, I do, we do. When I do, my children do. When I am doing the same thing, again, my children are doing the same thing. So, visual learning along with their own hands on learning, both are going sideways. So, there are different pedagogies which are supporting this deviation, that is project based learning. So, we as a teacher, we should understand that yes, this is the way I can do in my classroom. So, in conclusion, I want to say that these deviations in the teaching practices are actually, reflecting on giving evolution in the early childhood education. When we are saying ECCE, it is not actually just going into the classroom and doing coloring and then coming out. No, these are the best practices which we are doing in the early years. We are giving best to the children, we are giving shape to the children. So we need to understand the need of young learners in this today's world. So deviations is not at all an issue or problem in the early years. We are not following a strict, very strict plan in the classroom. We need to understand that the teachers who are teaching these very young learners in the classroom are giving shape to these children. So please welcome deviations. Now it is a time for the teacher activity. There are four co-teachers of UKG. This is an example which I am giving to you, and it is actually a problem solving sort of a activity. So you need to understand there are four co-teachers of UKG class. They have different working and teaching styles. They are assigned with the curriculum worksheets also. So teachers, I am giving you the situation where there are four co-teachers and they have different working and teaching styles. They are assigned with the curriculum worksheets they have in their hand. Will deviations take place in different four sections or not? So what is your point of view? Will deviations take place? And if yes, then why? And if no, then again why? So I welcome your answers in the comment box. Give your answers in the comment box, and you can, after submitting these responses, you can get the link to generate the certificates. So this is all for today, teachers. I hope this topic will help you in the classroom. I hope deviations will be welcomed by your coordinators, by your principal in the school, and there is no harm in it. So when there is no harm, then it should be welcomed. And apart from this, I must say that the teachers, they are putting a lot of efforts in early years teaching and learning. So we should motivate our teachers, and we should help teachers to do more and more and good and better. So thank you so much, teachers, for connecting today. Bye bye and take care.